Good afternoon. We're here for the gist parlor again. When we were growing up, my parents lived in a face me I slap you apartment. If you know, you know. And I remember a neighbor of ours back then calling me a particular day and saying, Bosse, come. You know, she calls me Sister Bosse because she knows that I'm a Christian, church girl, everything like that. Sister Bosse, come. And I know it's unlike her because I'm not the type that talks. I just do my thing. And you know, interestingly, I've been working from my early teenage years. So I'm the serious-minded kind of girl. She? All right. So that day, she called me and said, Sister Bosse, come. I went to see her. Her name is Mama Deborah, of blessed memory today. So I said, oh, ma, anything? She said, I want to tell you something about your brother, Sunday. Now, this my brother, Sunday, is a big guy today. But I want to tell this story to, welcome us to what we are talking about today. And I want to wave back at everyone who is waving me right now. Welcome, Tabitha D. Welcome, Pastor Kendi Odison. Welcome, sir. Bumi Onilude. Don't forgive me if I don't pronounce it well. Welcome. So as I was saying in that story, she said, I know that you people are a very decent family. Now, mind you, we were very poor at that point in our history. We had not always been poor, but certain things happened that changed the trajectory of the family. So, she said, I want to tell you something about your younger brother, Sunday. That you see, when you people have gone out, I would have gone to work. My mom and my younger ones would have gone to, my mom would have gone to work. My younger ones would have gone to school. I guess he just finished his, I can't tell, but somehow he had so much time and he was in his mid-teenage years, and he was beginning to mingle with bad boys, and none of us in the family knew. So Mama Deborah took it upon herself to call me that fateful day and say, Sister Bosse, come. I want to tell you something about your brother Sunday. Sunday Olorunseyi right now is a perfect gentleman, married to, and leading a successful life, married to Teniola, my sister, and they are doing very well. But I'm telling you stories of back in the days, how a woman's words saved the day. We didn't know. I mean, I've seen traces because I go to work, but I didn't know as much as she had got to know about what was happening to my brother. So she said that my brother had started following bad gang, that I should please look for a way to intervene. Thank you everyone joining me on Instagram. What you have to know is that I'm doing Facebook and Instagram together just to be sure that no one is missing out of this. It's a conversation we must all have. So what did I do? Trust me now, big sis. Once my parents came, at that point, both of us were doing figagbaga kind of thing, the way elder sis, immediate younger brother, and all that, and how that we will have a lot to disagree about. So I wasn't going to tell him anything because he might not value my own words. So I told my dad, and I said, please, sir, can you please talk to him? That I hear that he's beginning to follow, and I know the guys. The woman told me the people he was beginning to follow, and he said, I know your family is not that kind of family. I think he's just following peer pressure, and see how you can help him come back. Wow. She's late today, referring to Mama Deborah, the neighbor of ours in the Face Me I Slap You house, that told me what was beginning to happen to my younger brother. I escalated the issue to my parents as I should, and they in turn began to work on the details. Long story short, they were able to help my darling brother, and God of course was working with us to ensure that I didn't go the wrong way. Why did I tell that story? What has it got to do with our talk today? Today we are gisting about Awawa boys, 1 million boys, Omo Kesari. What a name. Hello. And the question is, who's making. Meaning that who to blame? Who is to blame for this? I'm waving back at all of you. Thank you, all the guys on Instagram. Thank you so much. Love you guys. And Facebook, this is my all right. So I'm let's say that I'm Elena, JJC to Instagram video. I hope I'm not doing badly. All right. So for my guys on Facebook, let's go. Everybody, let's go. Now, so today we are saying that who is to blame? Who is to blame for our boys? Is it parents? Is it government? And or is it community? In the story I just told you about my brother Sunday Olorunseyi, who is right now a respectful, beautiful citizen of Nigeria, in his teenage years, early teenager, he was going to go wrong. Who helped us see what we couldn't see? It was a neighbor. So you may say that society, that society, community, yeah. But you see, I want to hear from you. What do you think? You can put your comments because I'll be reading them as we go. What do you think? I'm waving back at you, Madam Rachel Olusola-Obasa. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, Mark Bazwaye. We are discussing something that has to do with our future today. Olasumbo, you're welcome. I'm so glad to have you. Thank you, everyone. So, who is to blame? In your own view, let me have your personal views. Whether you're on Instagram or you're on Facebook, let me hear you. Who is to blame? Who is to blame for Awawa boys? Just a few days ago, nobody could sleep. Can you imagine that kind of mobilization? Can you imagine that kind of confidence and strength? You can call them cultists if you like. But the thing started from somewhere. Where did it start from? I had some views coming. You're welcome, Mrs. Enito Ayade. I'm so glad to have you. Waving back at you. And so, if you thought that it was society, you probably have a point. If you think it is government, like someone said before I came on, I saw the responses. They said blame government. They didn't make education compulsory. I'm like, okay, I'm following what you are saying. Because see, opinions are very, very free. And people have different perspectives to things from time to time. But what do you think? Mrs. Ayode, you are a parenting coach. What do you think? Who is to blame for our boys? Who is to blame for 1 million boys? Pastor Kehinde Odusowo, you've been a great blessing to us in this, even in my own marriage. You knew me when I was so much a young lady. Back then, at Today's Choice magazine, that's why I met you. Who is to blame, sir? I knew you played a role in my own life even then. I'm so glad that I'm back on Facebook. Can you guys see me? Wave. Let me know that I'm back with you. Okay, good. I'm sorry, it was network. All right, so I'm so sorry for guys on Facebook. I mean, we had it going on Instagram. And I had someone contribute on Instagram saying that parents have a majority role to play. The making of parents. In 2015, we started the National Character Parenting Summit. And that was my first time of knowing that there were guys called Awawa boys. I never knew all my life. They said that they were the terrors in Agege area of Lagos. So it's not new. Where did these children come out from? Who gave birth to them? Who are their parents? How did they turn out like this? What were their parents doing? Okay, so Olusola-Obasa on Twitter says that parents are to be blamed. In those days, you can go to school or learn trade, but nowadays, parents are careless about all this. They just want their children to make money anyhow. Okay, so you just made your point, and I believe that you're entitled to that opinion. Yes, at the end of the day, we want all of us to be able to agree. And you know me, I don't talk for talking's sake. I would rather not talk than come and talk just for the sake of talking. You know where I'm driving at today? To win the soul of parents who are willing to pay the price to make the society better by the kind of children they are contributing to society. Do you know what I think? I tell myself that parenting rights and releasing the right kind of children into society is a patriotic assignment. In addition to being a spiritual assignment, in addition to being a social assignment, I believe that it shows your patriotism. Can you imagine a child coming out from your loins and they are the ones making everywhere unbearable? Adults could not sleep a few weeks ago in April. Everybody was keeping vigil. I think some communities might still be keeping the vigils till now, staying awake because of children that came from somebody's home. We have been discussing on this gist parlor today, who made these children? Who's making? Is the Awawa boys, or are the Awawa boys the government, or parents, or community? Who's making? Mark Bazoye said, I feel the government are the reason why the parents fail. Well, again, beautiful opinion, but let's begin to see. If you say that the government are the reasons, let me tell you a few things that I have in mind. I'll continue to read your point as I see them, so please keep them coming. It's a gist. A few things I want to say is that children arrive first in the hands of parents, not in the hands of society or government, right? If you agree. Now, the duties of parents basically isn't just giving money, because most of the time people talk about parents, they are looking at governments being at fault. They are looking at it from the point that governments have not given an enabling environment for parents to thrive, maybe to make money. But really, what do you need to raise a good child? I think that's a question we all need to answer. What do you need to raise a good child? Is it all the monies in the world? Now, I believe that your major duties are to raise your child to be emotionally stable. And that is within your social assignments. Being a parent that is there for your child in terms of social building, upbringing, means that you are caring about their emotional balance. You are caring about their character development and so much more. You know, how they relate with people. Are you building them to be respectful and the rest of them? So I believe that parents had HAD. Parents had the first place privilege, an opportunity to raise their children the way God will want them to, and the way they have designed them to. You are welcome, Adeyemi, Kemisola. Thank you for joining. So parents had that. They had that privilege. I believe it's a privilege from God. The children arrived in your hands. They didn't arrive in. So you were the first point of call. You were the first point of contact for those children. You were with them until you released them to go to school. So at that point, society began to have major interactions with them. So what happened between when you gave birth to them and when you released them to the society? Questions begging for answers. I believe that when parents miss raising good children from home, the children will struggle in the society to be the right kind of citizens. We owe the nation the responsibility, I believe, we owe the nation the responsibility to raise children who are sound and reasonable members of the society. Talking about citizens of wherever countries they belong. What do you think? Do you think it's government that should help you raise your child? If you're a Christian like me, you would hear the Bible say to you that train up your child in the way that he should go. And he puts an assurance there that when he grows up, he will not depart from it. It means that there is a groundwork to be done, no? It means that there's a backgrounding to be established, though. Kemi Sola says parents are the major factor. A child who is not well trained will later become a menace to the society. Interestingly, that's my view, but I don't know what your views are. I've seen people say that it's government. I've seen people say it's society. While I agree that government may have a part to play, while I agree that society may have a part to play, I think that parents are the major reasons for the kind of children that we turn out. Our boys made elderly people of different age categories to stay awake. One of the things you can do for your nation is to raise good children for that nation as citizens. If you don't have great children for the nation, you cannot be said to be patriotic. Your patriotism begins with the kind of children you are releasing into the society. And I like Katie Manuel has said, thank you, Katie Manuel. She says, first, it is the responsibility of parents. Then the place of the society and community has a role to play as well. I agree absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely, I agree. That's my view too. And I think if we want to be very reasonable, I have just done a backgrounding of how the child arrived. Government was not there. Community came on naming day. They were not even there when you were doing push, 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 and bringing the child out. You were happy to have the child, but what did you do after all? Having a child, the joy of having a child is not as beautiful as the joy of raising the child to be a great citizen, not just of the world where you live, but everywhere in the world. Talking about raising globally relevant citizens. Katie Manuel says again that unfortunately, the community living or effort is no more there because of the lifestyle we live now. I started with the story. I started this gist today with the story of my brother and I when we were teenagers. I've always been 4 years older than him because there's a young girl in between both of us that my parents lost at the time when she was very young. So by virtue of that, I'm 4 years older than my immediate younger brother. And I told you that as teenagers, in spite of the 4 years gap, he had his own time of trying to be himself as a young boy, growing up. And that woman, Mama Deborah, talking about community, there are still people who are interested in helping you with your children till tomorrow. But what's your attitude? It comes back to the parents again. What's your attitude? School says don't do this because they are trying to help your child to be well groomed. You go to school and fight the parent and say, do you know who I am? I am general, blah, 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 blah. Who general you? Who general you? You have to simmer, like sit down gently and know that whatever you do today, whether you allow people to be part of helping your children go the right way today or not, at the end of the day, it will be majorly your loss. But you see, you will also affect the community. Why are we shouting? We're shouting because when the effect of your non-good parenting happens, it will no longer be a private matter. When the Awawa boys came, it wasn't their family houses they went to. I don't know whether they even went there. They went to people in the society. So that's why we must not keep quiet. Katie Mana says again, your brother was able to be restored because the community effort. Yes, you see, ma, that's not all. Oh. What if she said and I said, you are jealous, which some people will do today. Why are you shedding a bad light on my brother? Have you raised your... And should I humble you? At that point in time, that woman had just one child. I don't know whether she has already had that child by then. I doubt it. She didn't have children by then. So what if I started abusing her and say, you man, because you don't have children, you don't have children will be exorbitant at that age. What will be your own attitude? In my own case, I said, thank you so much, man. And I went ahead and made my mom and my dad hear about it. So really, I want to appreciate all of this input. But at the end of the day, the clarion call for me coming out today again. Me, I will not come out until there's something good, though. I don't gossip, oh. This is my own kind of gist, Let's add value to ourselves. Every time you see my face, know that there is value to be communicated. But the point I'm making here today is that, will you go back now? This is lockdown, and it's going to be eased very soon, oh. Hey, what have you done with the 4 weeks plus, oh? Have you mended defenses? Have you rebounded? Mr. Shola Imoria, welcome. Thank you for joining. That's one of my bosses from Punch. Thank you so much. Senior colleague, God bless you, sir. So, you see, the reason why you should please make up your mind to do it right is because when the effect of this wrong attitude or style of raising children begin to show up, it will no longer be private. Your children are personal to you, but the effect of their life is not private. Please put that down somewhere. Your children might be personal to you, but the effect of your raising them is never private to you. It is there in the public. The public share out of it. You're welcome, Ma Moturayo. You're welcome. I'm glad to have you. So I have a few points here that I'd like to drop because, this is supposed to be for 30 minutes and I have a few more minutes to go. Yeah, Shola Gbade, thank you for saying that it's the responsibility of parents and then government also has their own role to play. I absolutely agree with you. Parents, don't leave your job for another person to do. See, proxy can only do so much when it comes to parenting. If God has spared your life, you are not dead. They are not orphans. Commit yourself to this assignment. It's a noble one. I told you, nation building will never work well until family units begin to thrive and do well, particularly when it has to do with raising children. So you see, this is a serious matter. We have been imagine all of us, COVID-19 was putting people inside the house, and then Awawa boy was pursuing them out of the house. How bad? How much of trouble? And your children were part of it. In your lifetime. In your lifetime. God is willing to help us, so if you are willing to take up this role. I know that it's not by power nor by might. I know that when you do your role, God will stand by you gidigba and say, my daughter, my son, I am here to help you. Don't worry about what is happening in the society. Do your own part first. Do your part first, and let's see how God will help you. So I was going to say one major point I want to draw before I go. Don't leave your role for another person. Don't leave your role of parenting to church. Church is not the one to blame. Don't leave your role of parenting to school. Send them to the best school, and then you go and shout on their teacher where this child is not behaving well. Who do you? You need to sit down and know what the truth is. I love people to be sincere. If you know you are not getting it right as a parent, please be sincere and humble enough to accept it and look for help. Look for professional help. Look for help within family bandwidth if that's where you can find one. But by all means, don't pretend. Don't cover it up. All this cover up something. We need plenty of balance in the way we do a lot of things around. And it's my prayer and my desire that we'll all do well. So, another point I want to leave with you before I go is that parenting, particularly character parenting, must be deliberate, must be purposeful, and must be intentional. There is what I have called character parenting. It is that aspect of parenting that takes care of the character development of a child. Many of us have not come to terms with it. Taiwo, you are welcome. Thank you for joining. Many people have not come to terms with the reality of the fact that there's an aspect of parenting called character parenting. Character parenting. Mr. Adegbero, you are welcome. Thank you for joining. So there's an aspect called character parenting, and that aspect requires a lot of intentionality, a lot of purposefulness, a lot of deliberateness. You need it. You will have to be deliberate. See, if there are things in your life that will not help the children, you will first of all go and wash yourself clean. Or you will let the children know that we are all growing in this together. Please, let's grow to help us. It's important for you to know that character parenting is key. You must be purposeful, you must be intentional, you must be deliberate. Never assume that your children are learning character. Well, whether you assume or you don't even assume, they are learning, but they may be learning the wrong one, because society will teach them what you will not teach them. They may teach them the wrong one anyways. But so that you can own up to whatever you are putting into their lives, you've got to be deliberate about it. You've got to be intentional about it. We've been talking about Awawa boys, Kesari boys, 1 million boys, and we're looking at who is the maker of these children. Like, who's making? I don't want to use the word whose fault or whose failure. No, let's not. It's not a game blame. It's not a blame game, sorry. It is learning and trying to. I want us to be able to learn, unlearn, and relearn, and come out better. Those cuties, those children in your hands, in your life, in your house at this moment. Father Bale, be patient, cooperate with God, pray. Ask God, tell God, God, I've chosen to raise these children as noble citizens of the earth and people who fear you and respect men, and it will help you. But prayer alone will not do it. You must, in addition to all the modules of parenting that you want to do, don't forget character parenting. Because character parenting is a major course that you must pass as far as you and your children are concerned. There's one other point that is very key that I'm going to drop, and then we'll be wrapping up all of this. I've said it. Okay, let me go over what I've said so far. Evelyn, thank you for joining. Abigail, thank you for joining. So as a recap, we have said parents are the first people who see children, so they should be the people to be more interested in how they are established and how they are grouped. We've said that one of the things you can do for your children is do character parenting for them, and that must be deliberate, that must be intentional, that must be purposeful. If you don't know what to teach a child, please ask for help. Ask for help from counselors, ask for help from people who can help you. Pay for the help if you have to pay. It's about your future. Don't forget that parenting your child well is a national assignment as much as it is a spiritual or social assignment. It is one of the ways you prove to be a patriotic citizen of anywhere you are. And if you allow your children to miss it from home, they may struggle to get it right. It is very, very important that you create it. And so basic, a few things that you use to raise children, whether for character parenting or oral, is number one, words and actions. Majorly, words, actions, and provision. Provision talk about giving them all they need, as much as you can afford. That is not all that parenting and training is. Talking about home training. So it's important for you to know that your words, what kind of words do you use for them? What are your instructions? What are the sources of your instruction? How do you come about the things you're teaching them? Number two, and maybe more important than number one, is action. Are you a good example of what you want them to do? You see, this is where the issue is. Being an example. I can tell you for a fact that you cannot just be you anyhow you like when you are raising children. You must be who you must be and who you want them to be. The moment you are not ready to sign up to it, then I'm sorry, you are not ready to make a good product out of them. But that's what I want you to do. So why don't you let every one of us agree together? God will help us, I know. This nation needs us to build crop of new leaders. They can come from you. Why don't you make that your own contribution? People have been contributing money. You probably could not contribute anything to anyone, but you can contribute a good child. I have Iyenoma NX said in welcome. I'm about wrapping up now. All right, said in my point of view, parents are the major factor. When a child is trained, when a child is well trained and nurtured in his home, they will never misbehave outside. Okay? People should understand that at any level you find yourself in life, have cause to glorify the name of the Lord. Thank you so much, Ernest. Thank you, everyone that have joined me today. See, my own base directors are telling me that your time is up because I told them this is just going to be for 30 minutes. The same time that you have me on radio. I want to get feedbacks from you to know how much you've been enjoying this gist, just gisting in this parlor with me. And I want to believe that you have made a decision today. I want to trust that you will have strength to pull through this decision. You will not cave in and you will not give up. One of the things that can help you is compare notes with parents who seem to be doing well. Ask them how they did it, particularly if they are past the phase that your own children are. Or talk to counselors who are professional. Right now, I have to pay to have my children learn a few things additional to what I'm teaching them. But that's because I value them and I know that they require all that is good to make life the best for them. If you've joined me on Instagram today, thank you. And if you've joined me on Facebook, thank you so much. I'm signing out right now because I know you have to save your data for other value-added things, you know now. My name is Olusola-Obasa, and this has been Just Gisting with Olusola-Obasa. I'll be signing out now, but be sure that I'm willing to keep seeing your trail of comments because I will be live to interact with you. Bye for now. Thank you. And yeah, I'll be back on Tuesday. Oh yeah, Tuesday I'll be here. All right. So something more, something again exciting and value adding. So bye for now. Thank you. Let me see your bye-bye wave so I can see that. Okay, so who do I have? Who do I see have? Just do a bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you. Do a bye-bye. You know, bye-bye. I told you now that I was raised in the barracks. So when I'm saying bye-bye, you know what it is. All right, so let me see your wave. Once I can see one or two, I'll exit. I know that I've said my proper thank you. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for joining me today. I'm typing my thank you in. Thanks, 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 thanks. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Thank you for being there. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Yeah. All right then. That'll be all for now. God bless you. If you couldn't make it live with me, please catch up with these videos on Instagram, Successful Bosse, yeah, and of course on Facebook, Bosse de Olusola-Obasa. Bye for now. Love you all. I can see your laughter. Okay.